We have come to Revelation chapter 8. We are now into just the beginning of the day of the Lord, or the Lord's day, or the day of God's wrath, when he indeed will take hold of things, start to move and groove and do things to bring this world to its senses and to stop the world from annihilating itself. So chapter 8, when he had opened the seventh seal, remember there were 7 seals on this scroll. He's now opening the 7th seal. And there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. Don't know why that is. I'm not going to speculate. Well, maybe I will speculate a little bit. Maybe it's the calm before the storm. But whatever it is, in any case, there's silence in heaven for about half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. So certainly indeed a lot of prayers of the saints, especially at this time in history. There certainly will be lots of prayers sent up to the Father. And verse 4, and the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it upon the earth. And there were voices, and there was thunders, and lightnings, and an earthquake. And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. There is only 7 trumpets that are going to be blown at the end time. And here we're getting into them. And we must also remember that Paul said that Christ would come with the sound of a trumpet. And indeed at the last trump there would be Jesus coming and the resurrection taking place. Verse 7, and the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and a third part of the trees were burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. These are spectacular, miraculous events that are going to happen that's never happened in human history before. Verse 8, and the second angel sounded, and there it was a great mountain, burning with fire, and was cast into the sea. And a third part of the sea became blood. Verse 10, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were with a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the waters, and upon the fountains of the waters. I mean, these are mighty spectacular things, friends. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And a third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters. So obviously this wormwood is poisonous. Many men died of the waters because they were made bitter, or shall we say poisonous. You died, third part. Yes, many men, sorry, not a third part of men, but indeed a third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died because they were poisoned. 12, verse 12, and the fourth angel sounded, and a third part of the sun was smitten, and a third part of the moon, and a third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. So these are heavenly signs that are different from the earlier heavenly signs. In the earlier part, we had indeed the great tribulation. We had the great persecution of true saints of God. Then we had the heavenly signs, Jesus mentioned in Matthew chapter 24. After the days of this great tribulation, then you had the heavenly signs, and then the coming of Christ. That's Matthew 24. But here, a little more detail. Indeed, we're going to have some more fantastic, unbelievable heavenly signs going on with the moon and the sun and the stars. And indeed, a third part of the day didn't shine, and a third part of the night likewise. Verse 13, and I beheld and heard an angel flying from the midst of the heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpets of the three angels which are yet to sound. We have three angels yet to sound, and they're called woes here, the last three woes, because they are going to, things are going to happen on this earth that we don't even want to imagine or think about. But such will be the day of the Lord, or the Lord's day, the day of his wrath. Chapter 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there rose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of that pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpion of the earth has power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should torment 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion, which he strikes when he strikes a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared to battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. So there are men behind this locust storm. And they had hair as the hair of a woman, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had a breastplate, as it were the breastplate of iron. And the sound of their wings was the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there was a sting in their tails, and the power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name is Apollon. Well, this is indeed the great adversary of human beings, the great one that wants to destroy human beings. So who can he be? Well, the rest of the New Testament would show you that our great enemy, the greatest enemy that we have, is Satan, the devil. And he will be in charge of this army, from the bottomless pit. Now they are looked upon as scorpions, so they told us here that they are scorpion-like. The only people in the world in Bible prophecy that are said to be scorpions is in Nahum, the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 17. And in that book of Nahum, they are said to be scorpions. Now, Nahum was Assyria. That prophecy in the book of Nahum is towards the Assyrian Empire. And they are looked upon near the end of that book as scorpions. Nahum were indeed the Assyrian Empire. When Babylon rose up and conquered the Assyrian Empire, the Assyrian people went north together with the house of Israel that they had conquered previously, the Assyrian power. They went north. The tribes, 10 tribes of Israel went north. The Assyrians went north. They moved into Europe, and over centuries of time, Nahum, the Assyrians, became the German people of today. The 10 tribes, house of Israel, became northwestern Europe, British Commonwealth, the United States. But the scorpion people, Nahum, in the book of Nahum, the scorpion people were the Assyrians, and the Assyrians became the German people. At the end time, friends, I'm going to make it very plain and very simple to you. At the end time, there is going to come a power out of Europe. They've already been forming, they already have their own government, their own parliament, their own military, and it will increase. It will increase. Europe will continue to develop nuclear arms and a power as great as any power in the world in time to come. They will indeed become great in power. The German nation will rule them as they are the main power even now. The German people will be the main power at that time, and they will rule European power, the Babylon Roman Empire, the Babylon Holy Roman Empire. There will come yet a 7th resurrection of the Holy Roman Empire in Europe, and Germany will be the leading nation. And that power will eventually indeed put on the earth what we have just read here. And they will go forth. The United States and the British Commonwealth, Anglo-Saxon people in northwestern Europe will already be taken care of. They won't be a force at that time. And it will be Europe and Germany that will be the force. And they will go forth on the earth and do what it says here. They will torment men with some space age warfare that will not kill men, but will torment men, that those men would wish that they were dead. But it will put on the earth this plague, and it will be the scorpion people of Germany and Europe that will do it. The last resurrection of the Holy Roman Empire, as they try, as they did before, to rule the world. And they will try it again. Yes, that might sound far out to you, but take a note of my words, because when it happens, you will know that I said it would happen. God's word says it will happen. And it will. I don't know what time. I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime, but it will happen. Take note. Indeed, there is coming a dark day, the Lord's day, and many horrible things have to take place on this earth for God to bring this earth to its senses, the nations to their senses, and to be delivered from all the evil that they will think to do. It is time indeed to study God's word very seriously, to be a part of the saints that will be protected from all of these things that shall come upon the earth.